He felt we have to make accommodations with the Romans. The time was not ripe for the Jews to rebel and to bring Mashiach, and therefore we have to just, swallow the lack of independence for the sake of being allowed to practice our Judaism and have the Beit HaMikdash, the Holy Temple, intact. Yes?
This was also the time of Rabbi Akiva.
No. That was much later. Rabbi Akiva was a student of Rabbi Yochanan Zakkai's student, so he was 2 generations later. And that things changed then. Rabbi Akiva was for rebellion, actually, but Rabbi Yochanan Zakkai was not for the rebellion. And things got very difficult. What happened? There were 3 very wealthy Jewish members in Jerusalem who supplied Jerusalem with 21 years worth of food and drink and everything they needed, and wood, which is fuel. For 21 years, the Romans were besieging the city and they couldn't penetrate the fortresses. They couldn't penetrate the walls. And they were there for 3 years, and they still couldn't penetrate. Rome was not going to stay there forever. You can't keep an army in one place forever. But the Biryonim wanted to fight. And they knew the Jews are not going to fight as long as they're secure, as long as they have the walls, and as long as they have food and fuel, they're not going to fight. So what did they do, the Biryonim? They burnt down all the supplies of food and all the wood. Everything was burnt down, was destroyed. That would force the Jews into fighting. Of course, this was a terrible thing, a terrible tragedy. And Rabbi Yochanan Zakkai knew that he had to do something to make some type of accommodation with Rome. So he calls in his nephew. His nephew was the leader of the Biryonim. But at this point, he probably realized that it was a big mistake for them to do what they did. So Rabbi Yochanan Zakkai says, I have to go speak to the Roman general, Vespasian. I have to do something to save something, to salvage something. So he said, you're not going to get out of this city. There are guards that make sure that nobody leaves the city, because they knew that some people would try to make some type of reconciliation with Rome and work things out. And you'll never get out.